about cannon rush, you're not making the cannon on top of your ramp. You're most likely trying to cannon in range of where the other cannons go up, because you'll be like, okay, I got my pilots in place already. He needs to wait until his pilots finish. So wherever he wants to cannon, I can start cannoning. I'll always be one step ahead. I have better economy. You're not just going to build the single cannon on top of your ramp, because the probe will still sneak in. So that would have been really bad. And also, this would have been bad regardless, because that probe would have got in, and after that, stalkers can avoid cannons and can pick away at the mineral line. So cannons would have been a terrible choice for Minigun.
And now we know. That Roddy analysis. We're moving on to Frost for game number 2. Let's go ahead and hop straight in, where we can see spawning down in the bottom right-hand corner is Clarity Gaming's Sarovati. Was in a great spot, and then he got a pylon up at his main base, and that meant he was in a bad spot. As Minigun snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
I didn't even see this last game. Did he just get invited?
No, he's been in Clarity for a while.
Yeah, I know, but
oh
no, I don't. I don't think he had contract negotiations in the middle of this best of 5, man.
Okay, boss, I'll sign. I'll sign. Up at the top right-hand corner of the map is Chad Jones, a.k.a. Minigun. Yes, he's still en route. No Reddit sensationalist. He did not leave the clan.
This is my co-caster, guys. He's confirming me that Sarovati did not join in the middle of this best of 5.
Don't, brother, it has been a long 2 days. Don't you dare hate. Do not you dare hate unless you're pouring me a whiskey.
This game, we can see both players are opening up a little more standard as Grobus is going down on this Nexus. And the same thing can be seen over here on the right bottom side of this map.
Desi shot us a tweet, perhaps a little bit of love for the love we gave his guide, which you can see on Desiro's YouTube, and not on Team Liquid apparently. And Desi, I think that a cannon on top of that ramp would have shut it down hard.
The only way it would shut it down hard is if you like make a full wall off immediately. If you wall
just like wall in, make 4 cannons, like ha ha, I'll never get in.
And then the other guy's like, okay,
I guess I'll take 3 bases, build some carriers.
Tempest. Sarovati is not scouting yet. Minigun is scouting, but unfortunately for him, he's scouting in the wrong direction.
Yep.
And now Frostban is in different map. Stargate opening straight up. Stargate is pretty good. This is often a good map to go Dark Templar expand as well. Or maybe even a Blink Stalker opening or just a 2-gate expand. There's pretty much anything is good on this map, to be honest. I think it's an okay Stargate map. It's a good Blink map. It's a map where you can pull off a 1-gate Robo expand or like 1-gate fast expand with a Robo follow up. There's not a whole lot you can do over here. You can even cannon rush as Wiedemins. He tried many times.
Next level cannon rush.
Wiedemins is legit. It's always like, you know, like lately when I play against Wiedemins, in the old days I used to just make a forge myself, but then I thought like that's not very fair, you know, like because if I don't know it's Wiedemins, then this is not how I'm gonna do. So we're gonna try to defend straight up, and man, it's hard. It always comes down to like 5 HP here or there. Those cannon rushes are legit, man. You don't mess with it.
Next level.
It depends a little bit as well. Like it's a lot stronger on those 2-player maps than on 4-player maps. Sentry Mothership Core over here for Sarovati. Sorry, for Minigun. So I think Minigun is going to go for a really... No, Minigun actually might drop some...
Yeah.
What is Minigun doing? Why does he have so little money compared to his opponent?
I just love these decals.
Me too, but I don't understand it, man. Where is Minigun his money?
It's,
Why does he... okay, he did scout. I mean, scouting makes a big difference, but not 300 minerals, no? He's queuing up a 2nd sentry, so I guess Minigun is going 1-gate fast expand as well. Which, you know, Sarovati is greed, man. It's going to pay off a little bit over here. His expand is a lot quicker. Man, Sarovati, this is why he expanded so quickly. He did it off 0 units. He's like, let me go Mothership Core expand. Now, Minigun is not a very crazy player, so I really don't mind him doing this against someone like Minigun. Because Minigun is just a very solid, straight up, you know, he's not going to forget you or anything like. Well, forget would probably not even be that good, but something really quick and crazy.
And these guys have a very friendly sort of relationship. They're talking a lot in chat. I can imagine that they've hit each other on ladder a lot. Probably very familiar with each other's play styles. Maybe even practice together from time to time.
The funniest thing is that Sarovati, sorry to interrupt your thoughts here, by the way, Ben. But like what I want to say is like, Minigun very straight up, solid protos, la la. The funny thing is Sarovati has no idea that Minigun was trying to do the same thing in game number 1, or at least something similar, you know, either proxy gates or something among those lines. So very, very funny.
How unfortunate is it also that Sarovati sent his probe low instead of sending it straight through the center like Minigun did?
I have no,
because that would have been a completely different outcome. Anyway, my previous chain of thought was these guys are probably metagaming each other quite a bit, just due to how familiar they are with one another's playstyles.
If I look at this, man, I definitely think you're right. Because Sarovati goes 1 gate, Robo, 2nd gate, Stargate. What? And now it's going to be scouted by Minigun. And
Minigun's like, what the?
Minigun is like, so...
so prepare for everything?
Yeah. 2nd Stargate going down as well for Sarovati after that Phoenix leaves. But I'm pretty sure Minigun is going to check again because, as you said, if you scout this as a Protoss, you're probably just like, what?
Yeah, this doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense.
Nope.
This is not a normal Protoss build.
So you're going to scout it again.
If you're taking notes, guys, maybe stop.
Don't try this now. Man, Sarovati has created a sick work elite for himself, though. And these Phoenixes are actually going to be pretty sick, I think. Because, you know, Minigun doesn't really have the pieces in the right place. You could say, like, he could drop a Twilight, but if by the time that he has Blink Stalkers out, he's going to be quite far behind. And these Phoenixes are still going to get probe kills, no matter how you look at it. He is going to drop the Twilight right now. But before he has maybe, like, some High Templars to feedback or anything, these Phoenixes are going to do some serious work. And then Sarovati already has the pieces in place to transition out of this again.
Now Minigun sees it and he's like, oh, come on!
Minigun's not happy now. Supply block for Sarovati, a little sloppy. It's going to take another 12 seconds. This is a very painful feeling whenever this happens. I get really mad at myself when I chrono boost one supply block. Bronze League heroes!
Everything about Sarovati's build is hilarious, Kev. The very fast expansion.
Expand, no units, 1 gate, Robo.
Double Stargate.
Double Stargate.
Why not? And hell, let's keep making Immortals while we're at it.
I mean, he's worried about the Blink Stalker counter. So he needs Immortals in place for that. At least I assume that he is.
Forcing a Photon Overcharge there in the natural.
I wonder how many Phoenixes he's going to make. Considering the fact that he made double Stargate, I assume a few. Templar Archive's already going down for Minigun, so he might actually have High Templars at a very a rapid pace over here. High Templars, of course, amazing, as long as you can drop feedbacks immediately and then morph them into an Archon, because the moment they get picked up, they also die very quick.
Phoenix is going to make their way up into the main base. There's not much here to defend except another Photon Overcharge, and once again we're seeing double Photon Overcharge. Twice in one day. Yep. Never before seen, twice in one day.
See it a few times, but not very often. Sarovati already going up to 3 bases.
Come on, Sarovati.
He's playing like a sick.
What are you doing? And I don't know that Minigun can necessarily do anything about it. He's not got a whole lot of units.
Guardian Shield being popped immediately as 2 High Templars were wiped in, and Minigun did not want to. Did he pick up the Mothership or no? What, something died over there, no?
Yeah, ooh, feedbacks. Smashing all the energy down off these Phoenixes.
Oh, High Templar gets picked up.
There's the one Phoenix he doesn't feedback. Sentry's also going to get lifted.
So 2 High Templars died over there, right? Because the first unit that got picked up as well was a High Templar. You sure?
Pretty sure.
I don't mean the probe in the main. I think that was a High Templar. I think
okay.
Minigun wipes in High Templars 2 at a time because he's afraid of getting picked up. And now, man, I think you're right. After losing one of those potential Archons, Minigun is like, man, this is going to be hard for me to do anything about it. And this is a pretty frustrating PvP to play for Minigun. He's just behind in everything. He knows he's behind, but he also knows that he can't cross the map and do something about it. Feedbacks land? No! Minigun too late, man. This is getting painful.
Picking up 2 more High Templar. I feel like Greetorp would love this game. Andre would say, drop a fleet beacon and go carriers now.
And research charge.
Yep. But
feedback. There's 1 High Templar there near the cannon. There's not too much energy on these Phoenixes, so well done by Sarovati. He's been active enough with them. Normally killing probes is amazing, but hey, the only thing that's better than killing probes is killing units that cost 150 gas.
Feedback does go down.
But he doesn't have a body to morph into. He's like, man, I'm just looking for my partner in life. Why does no one love me? It's hard, man. This High Templar is like signing up on OkCupid at the end of the night. Yes, I too found my true partner.
I bet his OKC profile is awesome. I am a High Templar of Aya.
I'm just looking for someone to share the rest of my life with.
If you get mugged in a dark alley, I can cast Psionic Storm.
I'm willing to protect my partner, but above all, I want to share everything. I basically want to be 2 in 1. So, well, the moment you visit that profile, you're like, I feel crazy like people, get out of here.
I feel like sexy time with a High Templar is going to really kind of backfire. It's like you go and you touch him, and he just like sucks you in, and you become one being. He's like.
I think we should stop that conversation because now my mind is just ready to make terrible jokes, but I'm not going to do that. Let's keep it PG-13 for a little while.
Oh man.
Either way, what is important is that these Phoenixes have still been doing fantastic work, man. It has been a ridiculous build by Sarovati, and he hasn't won yet. But he's been putting himself in a great position. Absolutely fantastic.
Down to just 2 Phoenixes, but Sarovati's got everything in the world going for him, Kev. He's transitioning right out of that Stargate stuff.
Alright, well, he suicided the last Phoenixes to try to pick up the final High Templar. He did not succeed in doing so. Now Minigun is like, ha ha ha, this is my moment.
Oh, that would be great.
No, what did Minigun scout? Did he scout the Robo Bay? He did
He's
not
going to go
scout the
Tempest, maybe.
Yeah, but he
His
didn't
observer
scout.
sees the Colossi.
Ah, sorry. Okay, so he doesn't have to see the Robo Bay, because if you see Colossus, you kind of know what time it is.
Unless he's always hallucinating 2 Colossi, which would be very smart. With one.
Minigun is dropping some pylons around the map. Both players just macroing up. I must say, Ben, despite this being probably has been a pretty frustrating game for Minigun, and he's down 13 workers. He's hanging in there, and we know that like one time warp, one good fight in PvP can do crazy things. He feedbacks the hallucination. He's very feedback trigger happy today. Dark Shrine going down for Sarovati as well. That's kind of funny because I think there are cannons in every base, no? But yeah, then again, one cannon might not be enough. Observer does die. Fleet Beacon going down for Minigun as well, and the second Stargate. So Minigun is getting ready for Tempest. Tempests are amazing if you can get him in the right moment. We've seen that yesterday with Bills versus Huck, but he had his Tempest a little too late. One game he didn't make him at all, the other game he made him a little too soon.
Sarovati could be picking the perfect time to push, Kev. He's got about a 20 army supply lead.
Almost makes you think that he knows, but he doesn't know. Sarovati's been playing this game
since.
Like a sick puppy. A very, very sick puppy. But what he probably does know is that he has a Colossus advantage, and there's always a moment to take a fight. If you have a Colossus advantage, that's a great time warp.
Another one's going to go down. Every Archon's going to get stuck. Zealot's going to charge forward. And Minigun's army is going to get smashed. He's not going to have a chance to get any Tempest out, Kev. That third base is doomed, I fear.
Maybe he can abandon the pros to the fourth. Would not be obvious at all.
Never saw it coming.
111 supply against 89. Minigun just wants to get a little bit of time. He did manage to drop a feedback on this mothership core, because those time warps, at least the second and third one, those were from Minigun trying to save a couple of his units. Great Colossus, folks, fight there. That's actually a little bit too far ahead.
Yeah,
it's
really
going to
nice
lose one Colossus, 2 Colossus.
2 Colossi fall, but still, look at the army of Sarovati, just overwhelming, pushing forward. Force Field's not going to work with Archons in the mix. Colossus needs to stop shooting a Nexus.
Man, the upgrades are much better. These Immortals are still alive. Can Minigun hold this, man?
No way! He's got 5 Immortals untouched. And with Tempest out, the Colossi are going to be useless. Sarovati's going to try in desperation to pick off this expansion, but Minigun's got another one just around the corner. And
look at Sarovati's macro. It's really slipping a little bit, but sick fight there by Minigun. That was super hard for him to hold. Somehow he managed to pull through.
I thought Mini was crushed. Now that was the exact opposite of the case. As,
Immortals are good, but not when they get swarmed by Zealots. Sarovati doesn't know about that fort, right?
What are you going to do, Sarovati?
See? He doesn't know. +3 is on the way right now. Okay, Sarovati also took that fight on the worst moment for his upgrades, by the way. He was fighting with 0-1, or 1-0, sorry. And now he actually has 2-1, so he went from way worse to even upgrades, if not slightly better. Sarovati is like, hey, you make a Tempest? Alright, I'm going to drop another Stargate. I hope he didn't forget that he already had 2 of them. But I'd say maybe you should drop a Fleet Beacon.
That would be funny. Maybe he's going to go Phoenixes again.
You know, Phoenix are actually pretty good, but they're not good against Archons and High Templar. But Phoenixes are pretty okay against like those units like Tempest and Void Rays and whatnot. If they're well operated.
Minigun on the hunt. Does not have a supply lead, but his army is very formidable.
So Minigun. So what is it? Sarovati, you have 3 Stargates now.
This is an important scout. Sarovati is going to spot this expansion from Minigun up at the top of the map.
With a Zealot? No, he realizes, okay, I'm not as far ahead as I thought it was. He's going to wipe in a bunch of Dark Templars right now. He's going to run them across. There is a single cannon, I believe.
And soon to be 3, though.
2.
Or 2.
Yeah. 2 might be enough, though. 2 is enough time to at least like get an alert. And
Minigun sees it with Zealots. Minigun is so good. Spots the shimmer. And he's going to warp in more units.
Protecting his cannon. Yeah, great play by Minigun.
6.
Man, I love how Mini plays. A very beautiful player to watch. Gonna send a lot of Zetsu. Meanwhile, engagement in the middle of the map. Storms are landing. So Sarovati, you have 3 Stargates. Are you gonna use them as well, or like? I don't understand. He's wiping in a lot of zealots. He is on double forge though, Ben, so that's something that's going to be a big advantage. There's no need for Sarovati to take a fight before 3-2 is ready.
Yeah, well, he's going to try to press the issue. Feels like now's the time. His Mothership Core is going to get shot down. Zealots trying to charge forward. Minigun has no Zealots with his army, and this could be a little bit dangerous. Colossi obviously can't stand up to the Tempest. Oh, man. This is bad news. Tempests are going to make very short work of the Colossi. Stalkers trying to make it an even trade as they're going to focus down those Tempests. Zealots do charge up the ramp and hit Archons and Zealots with Minigun. Last Tempest will fall. But I feel like Sarovati's got to retreat now. He's going to lose some Immortals and maybe even some Archons.
Minigun wins another fight in a relaxed way. Once more, Sarovati takes a kind of awkward fight just before 3-2 is ready. Once more, he started the fight with just 2-1 upgrades. Those are indeed pretty solid storms, but you know, Archons, Minigun can chase. This is an army that's very weak if it gets surrounded. It's a very strong army. Minigun has done some excellent holds this game.
Been consistently struggling with his macro. I think we can agree on that. 2K, 1K.
Sarovati has been outmining Minigun so badly, and he still has a hard time finishing him off. But the next fight, Ben, I think that's really going to make a difference. And it's going to be 3-3 against 2-2. But right now, Sarovati must probably think, like, man, you just don't die, do you?
I'm so impressed with the map awareness that we've seen from Minigun. Once again, he's caught this attempt at an attack into this 4th expansion. Once again, he should be able to shut it down.
With an Archon, it's going to be sort of okay. Maybe another fight in the middle of the map. Tempest. Then there's only a single Immortal in his army. I think as soon as these Zealots die, maybe Minigun can win this.
Stalker's going to try to do something about the Tempest. Archon's even going to get a couple of shots off, and Minigun deciding that this is not the fight he wants to take. Is just
his reinforcements were very far away. Minigun, they had no pylon there, so he would not just fight against this army.
I'm not really a believer in the army of Sarovati. I feel like he needs to change something. Maybe
I think he's just not sure on how to go against his army of Minigun.
Tempests of his own.
112 against 108 army supply.
I kind of think Carriers is an okay choice. I don't know how they fare against the Tempest.
So many Archons in his army of Minigun. It's a shame he doesn't have any shield upgrades. It's 2-2 against 3-2 right now for Sarovati. Mothership Core is going to die once more. Again, Minigun is trying to find himself in the best possible scenario. That's a reasonable position. Look at these Archons.
Great position for the Archons. Minigun, your army control is just fantastic. And the Immortals safe behind the Archons will continue to hammer away. God, Minigun has absolutely Code S level army control. It's Maybe we're seeing the rise of Minigun, Kev. I mean, he's been a grid player for a long time, but I am blown away.
He can't really chase, though. This is the problem. He doesn't have any pylons out on the map. He doesn't really have any map awareness, and he can't fight against reinforcements. Fighting with or without a pylon makes a world of difference in PvP. Also, let's not forget that was like he was down in army supply and he's down in upgrades, and he didn't even have his entire army with him because he kept a couple of units at that fort base, which he needed to because it was under fire all the time. Fleet beacon going down for Sarovati. Sarovati's like, I
guess I need to do something different.
What is he gonna make, though?
But you know what? It's coming a little late. He's sort of burned up all that bank he had.
Like, Minigun is ahead 20 army supply right now. If Minigun wins this game, then I'm blown away. He's been fighting with an inferior economy and inferior upgrades for a very long time. A time warp goes down out of nowhere. There's a Mothership Core in the middle of the map.
Everybody's going to try to take it as an opportunity.
The Stalkers are not that strong, Ben. Those are going to melt against those Immortals.
And so many more Archons, though, for Sarovati. Does he have what it takes to turn the tide in this battle? Tempest way too far back. That's going to let this Colossus rain down. And finally, Sarovati's getting a pretty good fight. The Immortals completely exposed.
No, this
but
is
there's
okay
just
for Minigun,
not enough. Minigun is going to prevail. Got so many hit points on those Immortals.
The Immortals do not die.
And Sarovati's forced back once more. Tempest staying alive. Look at these Immortals, all of them with so many kills.
In Dutch we would say petje off, because this has been a really, really impressive game by Minigun. Nothing really went his way early on. His opponent called a lot of corners. Minigun was fighting an uphill battle if I've ever seen one. Sick game by Minigun. I'm very, very impressed.
Mini wins on the back of superior army movement, superior control. This is an instance of a player being behind and outplaying his opponent. And Sarovati did not play badly. He played very well in a lot of instances, but Minigun was just better.
Sarovati right now just not sure what to make anymore, but that last fight was just one more fight that he lost that he couldn't afford to lose. He definitely went a little too happy on a few of those basic gateway units a few times, because Immortals are so good in certain positions if you're able to protect them. This might be an okay fight for Sarovati this time, as a couple of those Immortals are a little bit exposed, but Minigun once more keeping them alive for a little longer. This time he does have a reinforcements pylon. Tempest is shooting away at each other, but Minigun creating a massive lead. 6 of those Immortals are still alive. Ridiculous game by Minigun.
Just unbelievable. Minigun, you are making a believer out of me. Sarovati is going to fall in game number 2, and Chad Jones is going to go up 2-0 and is soon to be 1 map away from a berth in the Premier League. Of course, Sarovati is going to hang on until the bitter end. Doesn't want to tap out until he absolutely has to. This has to be such a frustrating loss.
Yeah, he probably doesn't understand how he lost this. A lot of storms going down on Immortals. Whenever I storm Immortals, people always laugh at me because they don't seem to be very effective.
Immortals will pick off that last Colossus, and Sarovati is going to tap out. Just an awesome game from Minigun. I'm blown away. He was so far behind. Sarovati's build was impeccable, absolutely perfect. He won the mine game, but he got outplayed. Just all game long, Sarovati mining more than his opponent.
Sarovati picking a couple of really awkward fights.
Let's show Kevin's screen again. This is the resource collection rate from the game.
This is always the first thing I look at after games like this.
And from minute 1 until the very end, Sarovati